Okay, when we come to example 4, that will be the new expansion that we're going to learn in Sec 2. So it's a double bracket expansion. So this one is actually quite easy. Okay, there are two ways of doing it. So the first way is what we call the arrow method or the rainbow method. Depends on how you see it. So usually this is what we'll do. You take the first item and you multiply by the bracket. Okay, so you can try this multiplication first. So if you look at the first arrow, you will be getting an x squared. If you look at the second arrow, you will get a minus 4x. Then the next one, you choose the second number here and you multiply. So all in all, you will have 4 arrows. So after that, you simplify the x. Okay, so if let's say gradually you are very comfortable with this, right? You can go direct to the answer. That means, right, you don't need to show this. It is okay if you don't need to show this. You can go direct to the answer. Okay, so in fact, right, when you progress to upper set, particularly in A math, right, try to directly get the answer without careless mistake. So that's one of the requirements. So if you are expecting to be doing A math, it will be good that you can mentor this kind of basic steps. Or else in A math, you'll find that it's going to be super, super long. Okay, so you should be able to process this very fast. Process fast and accurate on this kind of expansion. Okay, alternatively, if let's say you are very worried that you will be making careless mistake. So if you are worried that you will make careless mistake, okay, this is what you can do. You are still using this. You write it in this way first. That means you don't want to directly multiply first. So if you are worried that you will make careless mistake, then maybe you write an additional line of working. And then you do your expansion. You will still get the same answer. How comfortable you are. Do you want extra line of working? Okay, so depends on which one you feel better. So the option can be, you can even go direct and get the answer. Or you can have a few more lines of working. But sometimes when you got more working, right, doesn't mean that it's good. Because you actually give yourself more chance to make careless mistakes. So unless you're very sure about your mental process. So usually I will not do the alternative method. I'm showing you the alternative method if you find that you need to go slow on the expansion idea, or you find that the alternative method is better for you to prevent careless mistake. Or else I will suggest, right, stick to the basic rainbow method. So this one, rainbow method or arrow method. Okay, I always call it arrow method. Okay, so if you got bigger bracket, what happened? If you got bigger bracket, you just have to arrow more. 1, 2, 3. So here you already gotten 3 arrows. So the more arrows you have, you got to be more careful. Okay, take the second number and arrow. So again, you got to group them. So right now you have an x cube. So you try to start from the highest power. So this is the highest power. Then you go on to the x square. Then you go on to the x. Okay, you're recommended to be organized so that you don't make careless mistake. Okay, those who are very disorganized, they jumble up. They can put number in front, they can put x square behind. You are the one who will tend to make a lot of careless mistake. Okay, then subsequently, there will be students who get confused when they see a number outside the two bracket. So where you see things like this, you just go for the normal expansion first. You just do your arrow first. Okay, do the arrow carefully first. So be careful of the negative. You do the normal two bracket first. Then you expand in. So after you expand in, you organize again, starting from the highest power, x squared, gather all the x, and then the constant. Okay, so that is the trick. If you see a number outside the two bracket, or you see a x outside the two bracket, doesn't matter. You do the two bracket first. Then the one that is outside, then you slowly arrow in. What if you have a double bracket minus a double bracket? Okay, so you got a lot to do. So bracket up this part. It will be critical that you bracket up this part because there's a negative one that you will need to arrow in. So one of the common sign error is when students don't arrow in the negative one. So a lot of students will miss out on that part. Okay, so I'm going to do this double bracket first. So I'm going to do this double bracket first. Minus 3. Then I will do my double bracket again in the square bracket. Then you slowly, I will simplify first. Then I arrow in. So please be super careful. Gather all the x squared, all the x, and the number. Okay, so these are all, a lot of things there's just a lot of people can make a lot of careless mistake. So how good with your grade? The expansion is it's not difficult. How good you are will be how much careless mistake, how mindful you are. Okay, so that will be the expansion idea. So in the next example, we are also dealing with expansion, but now it involves bracket fractions. So you will have more chance of making careless mistake. But again, when we do fraction times fraction, Okay, remember, it will always be something like this. So a fraction multiplied by a fraction. Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. Okay, so, but the number of arrows doesn't decrease. So right now you got a big item to multiply. So if you look at the first arrow is going to multiply by the second arrow. No, sorry, multiply by 8 PQR. So you can actually mentor this. You mentor this by doing the number. You got a double P. You got a double Q. And you got a double R. Then you go for the second arrow. So do a number times number. You get a 3. And you get PQRS. That's it. Then you go for the other arrow. So when you go for the other arrow, go for number times number first. Okay, so for the number times number, you can just punch calculator. So I will get a minus 12. And then I also get PQRS. And in the last arrow, okay, you do number times number first. You will get a minus 18. And you got a S and S. So that is the F square. So out of the 4 arrows that you gotten, do you realize that these are same family? These are the same family, the PQRS family. So simplify the PQRS family. Okay, let me write that properly. So you see, if you simplify the PQRS family, 3 minus 12 is minus 9. So that is your final answer. So the same goes for this. This fraction is multiplied with this x over 5 times x over 5. Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. The second arrow, numerator times numerator, you get a minus xy. Denominator, you get a 50. So you get minus xy over 50. So do the same thing again for this part. So y over 10 multiplied by x over 5. Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. Then the last arrow here, the numerator gave you a minus y squared. Denominator give you a 100. So that's how you go through the 4 arrows. Okay, please do not show all this. Okay, you do it on paper or somewhere else. Don't mess up your presentation. It's actually very messy, some of you. Okay, so show the final answer here. Okay, and then right, do you realize that this part is cancelled away? So eventually you are left with this. So that will be the expansion for double bracket, and it can involve fractions. So again, is it possible to have 100% accuracy for such expansion? Yeah, it's also possible. Again, you just have to be super, super mindful about your expansion, every arrows that you are doing.